welcome to Sestra-Tainment. I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to Everything Entertainment. And so, sis, you are up first this week. What you
Yes. So the first thing that I want to talk about is a movie that I just watched recently. You can watch this on MGM Plus. This is Blink Twice.
Oh, yeah. Heard of it. Heard of it.
So this is supposed to be loosely based on all of these celebrities that have private islands and do nasty, filthy, dirty things to people on private islands and drugs and underage things. So, just to go ahead and give you the cast. So you have Naomi Aki, who plays Frida, who is our main character. Channing Tatum plays Slater King, who is, I guess, I don't know what to call him in this. He is the male,
something. What? Like,
what is it, like
is he the rich guy?
Yeah, but I'm like, what is it called when the category? It's like the male...
Oh, the antagonist of the
whatever.
Supporting cast member.
I guess,
okay.
Yeah, he'd be the male.
He would be the best supporting actor in a.
I mean, I guess he would
drama.
be the male lead.
Oh, the male lead. Okay, yeah, male lead.
I mean, not really, because it's not really about him.
Okay,
sorry. All right,
down a whole rabbit hole.
But I'm just saying, I was trying to think of what it was. So you have Aaliyah Shawkat, who plays Jess. You have Christian Slater, who plays Vic. You have Simon Rex, who plays Cody. You have Drea Adorna, who plays Sarah. Haley Joel Osment, who plays Tom. Liz Carabell plays Camilla. Levon Hawke, who plays Lucas, which is Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's son.
Oh.
You have Thru Mullen, who plays Heather, and Gina Davis, who plays Stacy. There's another guy, Kyle
Yeah, that's about right.
McLachlan or something like that.
McLachlan?
Yeah, who plays Rich. All right, so basically what it is, you got Frida, Jess, best friends. Okay. All right, so you have Channing Tatum, who plays Slater, and then his buddy's name is Vic, and then his best friend from high school's name is Simon. Their other buddy's name is Tom. Then you have Lucas, who's just there, who's just like a pretty boy who's there. You have Heather and Camilla that are good friends.
Okay.
And then you have Sarah, who's there. So it's everybody's supposed to have somebody.
Somebody there. Somebody's got a friend there.
Exactly. Now, Zoe Kravitz is the one who wrote this. Her and E.T. Finding Bomb. They are the ones that wrote this, and they did an excellent job with this. It definitely throws for a loop when you figure out the end.
Oh, really?
I will tell you that, yes.
Okay.
But it makes it good. It's very, very good. It's kind of like how Trap was. How I told you Trap was like one of those, like, once you think you know what's happening, you really don't know what's happening. Yeah. But then you kind of know what's happening, but then you don't
really know.
Like, you think you know, but you're not sure. Basically. All right, so with Blink Twice, what you have is Slater King, who's Channing Tatum's character. All right, now he's a tech billionaire. Now he has this fundraiser that all of his bigwigs come to, and then you have Frida, who is a cocktail waitress with her friend Dress. Okay. They're at a party, and they just happen to bump into Slater King. Now, this is not by chance. They made sure that they worked this out, that they could bump into Slater, because for some reason, Frida is in love with Slater King. I guess he's just an attractive dude with a lot of money. So you have Slater, who invites the ladies, Frida and Jess, to his private island. It's like, hey, look, we've been talking like most of the night, but I gotta go. But I don't know if this sounds crazy, but would you like to come with me? It sounds so natural and just so
relaxed.
Yeah, so relaxed. Yeah.
Easy part of conversation.
Exactly. And I guess people just do this. People would just go with a celebrity to a private island.
Yeah, I mean,
without having a way to leave.
Yep.
Not knowing anything at all of what's happening.
Yep. Because you're just like, they're famous. I mean, who are they? Army Hammer? Are they going to try to eat a part of my body? Like,
yes,
who is this person?
We don't know these people.
I mean, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. That Kendrick Lamar said it best. They're not like us. We don't know what's going on with them.
They're not
so
like us.
yeah.
They're not like us.
So once they get there, so now they have clothes that fit them properly. They have food. They have to give up their phones because...
How do they have clothes that fit them properly?
Exactly.
Okay.
So but then there's like, maybe it's just what rich people do. It's like, hey, what size do you think she is? Okay, boom. That's what size you need to get here. But they have no phones. As soon as they get on the island, it's like, all right, everybody gets the phones. Now, Gina Davis is the Ghislaine, what's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell of this whole thing. Okay. So therefore, she's just like the assistant, making sure that all of the tomfoolery happens very structured and, you know, at a proper time. But it's a whole bunch of just drama. Anyway, so basically, they have all the drugs you can take. There's beautiful flowers everywhere. There's these beautiful white and yellow snakes everywhere. I'm not a fan of snakes, but they're very beautiful. Okay. All right. I'm just saying.
Beautiful snakes.
I'm not going to see a white and yellow snake anywhere around these parts. So, you know.
Okay.
So everything that they need is there, except for phones.
Okay. Right, because you had to turn yours in.
Exactly. So as this is going on, it's like a big party. Everybody's having fun. They do dinner. One of the guys, who is Cody, who plays Cody's character, he is in love with Sarah. So he's like, hey, babe. She's like, don't call me babe. He's like, okay, I love you. And then it's like you see both of them. It's like she's an opportunist. She's only there because she wants to get close to I was going to say Christian Slater, but his name is Slater King.
Oh, interesting. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So you can see like she's just a girl who's just trying to like get up there to be like an arm candy for somebody.
Gotcha.
So their whole dynamic is weird, right? Now Vic's character is missing a pinky.
Okay. And
throughout the show, they're just like, oh yeah, don't give him such a hard time. You know, he's just mad because he's missing a part of his pinky. And they're always pinking on him about that. Aww. Now, Jess is the only one that has sense and is like, yo, we got to turn in our phones? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, you got to turn in your phone. And she's like, okay. And it's like, what happens? Like, look, you can't go anywhere. Like, I don't like this. Like, when are we going to home? She said, what is today? What day is today? They don't even know what day it is.
Yeah, because it's like, how would you know? Like, you're on a deserted, on this private island.
Yeah. I don't know.
Living your best life.
Living your best life. So, basically what happens is Jess gets bit by a snake. One of those white and yellow snakes, really pretty ones. Mm-hmm. She gets bit by one, and then all the drama starts because now, where's Jess? Nobody knows where Jess is. It's been a whole day, and it's like,
where's Jess?
So the funny thing about this movie, it could have been called The Lighter.
The Lighter?
Yes.
Okay, that's weird.
Because there's one yellow lighter with a smiley face on it that goes through this entire movie.
So it didn't even need to, have any other name but The Lighter.
Just The Lighter. Okay. So just imagine like a yellow lighter. So like literally the beginning of the show.
Are people smoking a lot? Is that why there's a lighter?
Yeah. So the beginning, not smoking a lot, but people are smoking and nobody ever has a lighter when they smoke, apparently. So the beginning of the beginning of the movie, Frida's sitting there on the toilet, and her friend's like, "Yo, Jess is like, yo, the landlord's coming. We gotta have our money." And she's like, okay, cool. And then she's like, oh wait, by the way, do you have my lighter? Boom, that's where the lighter first starts. And then they go in there working, and they actually work as, like I said, caterers, like cocktail waitresses or whatever. Somebody's like, yo, Jess, can I use your lighter? She passes her lighter. Then they get on the island. Somebody's asking for her lighter every day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Then it's, hey, do you have a lighter? While the girl's like rolling up this fat blunt, what they kept saying over again. It's like, hey, do you have a lighter? And then it clicks to Frida. Wait, where's my friend Jess? Have y'all seen Jess?
Oh, what's going on? Yeah.
Like, what's going on with Jess? And it's like, what? And they were like, I would think I would notice if there was a whole nother person here, but everybody has her lighter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the drama just ensues from there. So now the big party becomes, hey, look, something's weird's going on and we got to figure this out. Now, I will tell you this. The staff that works on the island, or like at this compound or whatever. Yeah. The guys don't say anything. I don't know if they speak English. They just smile and like stare at the women.
That's weird and
Right.
creepy.
There's one little old lady, and she's like, "Oh, Red Rabbit." She calls her Red Rabbit. She calls Frida, the main girl, Red Rabbit the whole time. You find out at the end about the whole Red Rabbit thing.
That.
Yeah, you find out about that later. But that lady is like, she's doing the most by doing the least. Seriously, she really is.
She does the most and does the least.
No, she does the most by doing the least. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it's like she said, Red Rabbit, and then it's like, what about Red Rabbit?
Red Rover, let such and such come.
But it's like, what about Red Rabbit? And then it's like, haha, she walks away and she laughs. That's so it's like, what the hell is going on? But she's doing the most.
Get Out.
It is very much Get Out.
Okay, I just what it felt like when you just said that. Like people.
Yeah,
just
it's very much Get Out. It's giving me. It's giving me kind of like the what is that Onion movie that was on?
Oh, Glass Onion.
Glass Onion. It gives you kind of like that mystery type thing until it doesn't, and it rolls it all out for you, and then that's when it's like, woo. Now there is a trigger warning at the beginning of the movie. Hey, this is what happens in the movie. It will be triggering for some people. If you can't watch it, don't watch it. Yeah. That's basically what it says. Yeah.
It was very controversial when it came out, too, because originally it was going to have a very lewd title that I think began with a P word.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah. So it was going to be that. And then Zoe Kravitz decided against it, or maybe the studio did, and they're just saying that she did. I'm not sure. But it was definitely something that, they were like, this can not only trigger people from a perspective of what you are watching and traumas and things that people have gone through, but also from a perspective of it being very, risque.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very much so. But it is good. If you can handle it, definitely watch it. Like I said, it's called Blink Twice. It is on MGM Plus, and you can rent it on, I'm pretty sure, anything else.
Okay. Sounds good.
What do you have next, ma'am?
So, for me, I'm going to start with Bad Sisters, season 2.
It's a season 2. I kept seeing it pop up. I thought it was still season 1. I was like, I've already watched season 1.
It's like 4 episodes in, girl. Catch up.
Okay.
So, it might be 6 episodes in. Anyway, Bad Sisters, season 2. So, the cast, let's just say what they're, because it's a British show, Ireland show, actually. So, Irish show. So, therefore, you won't really know if you're in the United States, a lot of the actresses, but you have Sharon Horgan as Eva. She's like the oldest sister. You have Eve Hewson as Becca. She's kind of the flighty sister, for just reminding people, because we talked about this when the first season was going on. You have Eva Birthtistle. It's like the word birth with a thistle on the end.
We definitely need somebody to say these names.
So she plays Ursula. And then you have the other sister, Anne-Marie Duff. That's easy. Anne-Marie Duff, she plays Grace. So those are the main sisters, right? If you recall the first season, it was all about John Paul and the prick, as they called him.
Yeah.
So therefore, it was the husband of Grace, who was a complete jerk, that they called the prick. And the whole season was about, how do we get rid of John Paul?
Yes.
How do we kill him? Basically, it's like he is abusing, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever. He's just a horrible person. He raped one of the sisters. It's just like a whole bunch of craziness that happened. And they were like, this man needs to be taken out. So that was the purpose of the whole first season. And their ill-fated attempts of trying to take out John Paul, which some of it was kind of hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
But in the end, John Paul did, and I mean, this isn't a surprise. Like, literally the first 5 seconds of the first season was him in a casket. So, eventually he dies. But the whole season is about you thinking, oh, this is how he dies. And nope, that's not it. And then, oh, this is how he dies. Oh, nope, that's not it. So, that was the kind of first season. So, second season, this may involve some spoilers. So, for people who don't want to know, close your ears. And I know you might or might not want to know, because you sound like you're very excited to watch the second season. I'm going to try to do it with as few spoilers as possible. But anyway, one of the things, any major spoilers, I'll put it that way, there'll be tiny little spoilers. So for the most part, the season starts with the sisters all in a car. backing up to like the ocean or a cliff or something. It's dark. It's at night. You can't really tell what they're backing up to. So one of them's driving, Eva is driving a car that is not her car. So she's almost driving off the cliff because she's backing up and like, they're like, oh, wait. So then finally they stop. They open up the trunk and there's a body in the trunk. So it starts off with you knowing that there is another death. Who is the person in the trunk? We aren't 100% sure. You have an inkling, but you don't really know.
Can you tell if it's a male or female?
It probably is a female only because of the fact that everything looked very fluffy and pink and like the colors that looked like they were in the trunk looked potentially a little bit more feminine than male, in my opinion. So then it pursues to go to the sister Grace being actually someone who is in the bed with someone. Now, if you remember the first season and how that kind of ended, there was a neighbor named Roger. Do you remember Roger? He was the neighbor who was across the street who helped her with something at the very end of the season. Does any of that sound familiar?
No.
Okay. So what they do, which I do appreciate, is they give you a recap. I can't stand when you come back to a second season of something and it's been 12 months, 18 months, and you're just like, what did I last watch? Like, can you give me a recap and refresh my memory about what exactly happened so that way I can pick up where we left off? So anyway, Roger really professed his caring and love for Grace at the end of the last season. So when this season starts, and you see that she is in the bed with someone, you start to think, ooh, is this Roger? No, it is not Roger. This is all first 5 minutes. Okay. So it is not Roger, the guy who basically helped her with something and professed his love to her and all those types of things. So you're just like, who is this new guy and what's going on with him? And so come to find out, Grace, the woman who, lost her husband in the last season, getting remarried.
Oh,
she's getting remarried. Good. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that
great.
Wonderful?
And
so based on that, it's about, her bachelorette party and her sisters and, all of that, right? All of a sudden, this new beau goes missing. Okay. Her and him get into an argument. He goes missing. And the sisters are like, what happened to him, Grace? And Grace, I don't want to talk about it. We had an argument. I don't want to talk about it. They happen to look in the dryer. There's blood all over stuff. They're like, what is this in the dryer? Who shows up at the door? The police. Why are the police at the door? Because of the fact that they're still investigating things from the first season. Because in the first season, Jean-Paul apparently killed his father. And so he put him in a suitcase and threw him into a river. And somehow someone was like playing in the river near his family home, came across the suitcase, opened it up, dead body. All this, like I said, first 20 minutes probably of this whole second season. Okay. So then that brings all of this awareness to like, well, Jean-Paul, we know he died because again, first season, first few minutes, he's dead. Now his father's dead. Like, is this really like a death or was he a murder, for Jean-Paul? Yeah. Like what happened here? Was it something accidental? Was it something on purpose? And then how did his father, this is on purpose. He's literally chopped up and put inside a suitcase. So long story short, the police are showing up at Grace's house to ask her questions about her father-in-law. And the sisters are over here trying to hide a blood-stained, shirt that's in the dryer. So it's like all these weird situations are all going on at the exact same time. The daughter blames her mother for, just everything. So the daughter is, I guess, because the father's not around and, you got to be upset at somebody. So she's upset at her mom. She actually appears to like the new beau better than she even likes her own mom. Like she's always like, is he going to be there? Is he going to dinner with us? Is he going to hang out with us? That kind of scenario. And so when he goes missing, she's blaming her mom. It's your fault. You're the one who drove him away. Yada, 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 So you have that whole layer of everything. The other sisters have so much going on. Like it's everything from pill popping to being promiscuous, which, I mean, Becca's always promiscuous, to a potential romance thing that, I don't know, I feel like it's leaning in a certain direction that it should not lean into when it comes to your sister spouse. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So that's what I'm picking up on.
Okay.
So there's a lot of elements that make them bad sisters again in this season.
But that's why I love them.
I know.
Because they're so, like, mischievous.
They are. And it's funny because at one point, one of them was like, well, we're not murderers. And they were like, well, I mean, we think about murder quite often.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe no. Okay.
You hit the fat Amy?
Yeah. Now, I will say that a new character that they brought on this year is Thadia Graham, who plays Una. So she's like a detective who basically is like, I don't know,
black?
she's a 20-something detective. No, she's Asian.
Okay.
And so she's a 20-something detective, 20-something-year-old detective. When I say hilarious, like her role in this is so funny because she's super smart. But when you see her, you're like, she is so, like, she's like a kid. Like, they're like, come on, let's go. She's like, okay. And she'll run like a little kid would run. And then it's like, you know, somebody is having a deep conversation and she'll just walk in like, hey, do you want a pair of these, you know, on some of these chips? And they're like, can't you see? I'm talking to my boss
read the room,
about something really important. And she's like, oh, okay. So do you want some or not? You know, and it's like, chick, like, calm down, like, pay attention. So it's like very smart, but very naive and childlike. And I just love her character too, because you're picking up that she puts things together really well. But because she's so green, nobody's listening to her. Nobody's going to believe her.
But she's got the whole thing in her head. She's already put it all together.
Yeah. She's got it almost figured out. So anyway, and I'll name one more character. So, and you see her on a lot of things. I have no idea. One of the things that she was on was Killing Eve. She was like Eve's handler or something, or boss or something, or maybe she was with.
There was a dude.
No, I know the handler was for the bad person. Yeah, but I'm talking. I can't think of Villanelle. Yeah, but I'm talking about for Eve. I feel like her boss was like this FBI looking like woman. With
I don't remember. Okay.
Fiona Shaw is her name, but Angelica.
Yeah.
And so she plays Angelica in here, and she is with.
She's a really good actress.
Yeah, she's an amazing actress. So Fiona Shaw, for anybody who didn't get that. But now Roger, the next door neighbor, is dating this woman, Angelica. And she is the nosiest person that you would ever want to meet. And she is like passive aggressive. So every time something happens, she's just like, oh, so tell me more about that. And then people like confessing to her to stuff because she just seems so sweet and innocent. Like she's just this older lady, sweet and innocent. And then the next thing you know, she turns around and she was like, so when your sister did such and such, how did that make you feel? And you know that the other sisters don't know about that. So you're like throwing that out there to create discord amongst the family, or, you know, it's like those types of things. So she just, even at one point, she says to one sister, well, you know, I understand that you know, don't want me to say anything, but this church that I work at so diligently could really use about $500 worth of food, you know, just to make sure that we're serving the community to the best of our ability. And, you know, we just don't have that. And she'll just wait with the awkward silence. And the lady's like, oh, yeah, sure. I'll buy the $500 worth of food. No problem. Like, you know, because it's like, I'll keep your secret if you do this. But she comes across like, well, I'm just trying to help the community. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So she's like a politician.
Yes. So I don't know if she's the one in the trunk from the beginning of the show or if it's somebody else.
Or are they covering up for the lady? They're covering it up because she's killed somebody.
You just don't know. So anyway, so Bad Sisters Season 2, I think it's episode 6, I think just dropped. And if you haven't watched season 1, I implore you to please watch that. It is one of the funniest, best shows on TV. It's a drama, but it has funny elements. Yeah, it's like a comedy drama, a dramedy. So anyway, that's it. Bad Sisters Season 2. All right, what you got, sis?
All right, I got a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One being Wicked. Very long, a lot of songs. Moving on.
No, you
just kidding.
leave it alone. But okay, that's all I had to get in there. For anybody who's ever seen Wicked, you know what that is.
Yeah, there's the halfway mark apparently.
Yes, and if you haven't seen Wicked, then
spoiler alert, it's part 1. That's what's happening. I went to go see the movie. Hey, I'm gonna take the boo. She wants to see the movie. All right, cool. Come on, let's go to the movie. Wait, what? Why is there so many songs? We walk up and I'm like, Wicked Part 1? What are you talking about? It's a 2-hour, 40-minute movie. Mm-hmm. This should be the full part.
Not the full part, baby.
Just one part.
Just one part, baby.
Okay, and you know, I'm not a fan of musicals, but it's just because I don't like music that is like a script that is sung. That's the only thing that I don't like. I don't.
Which is the whole purpose of a musical, is to sing the storyline.
But make the songs more, make the songs make sense. Yeah, make them sound like a song and not like...
Well, even when Hamilton sounded like a song, you were still like, no, I don't want to watch Hamilton.
What song sounded like a song?
They were like rapping. They were like...
It was horrible.
No, it wasn't.
Was.
You weren't paying attention to the words. That's all it was.
That's the
Hamilton
whole thing.
Was great.
You have to pay attention to the words in the play to understand, like,
you have to pay attention to words, period, to understand.
But no, when it's a musical, usually my brain just, like, my eyes glaze over. And I'm like, all right, it's a song. I'm not really worried about it, but who do I think to kill it? Yeah. Because I'm just like, it's a song, and I came to watch a movie.
And then
so I didn't know it was. I didn't know it was going to be so much of the song. I mean, so many songs. Like I thought it was going to be. I literally thought, I wish I could Google it right now and see how many songs was in it. But I thought that it was going to be 5 songs.
5 songs, got it.
Ended up being a song every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that, Wicked is, a true musical that probably has
so what was the Wizard of Oz?
In the first half before you get to Defying Gravity.
So what was the Wizard of Oz? Was that considered a musical?
The Wizard of Oz movie? Maybe it's considered.
Because I swear that every song that would have been in Wizard of Oz would have been in part 1 of Wicked, because that's how many freaking songs it is.
Yeah, because you have to think, because you had the lion who was like, if I only had courage, and he was singing his little song, and then the other one, if I only had a brain.
Yeah, it was if I was the king of the forest.
Oh, if I was the king. Yes, if I was the king.
Sound like Mr. Stewart. Shout out to Mr. Stewart.
Yeah, so, and you had the brain, and then you had one in the heart, and then you had her singing, and you had Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and you had, so it was a musical. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I thought that, like, this was that kind of musical. It was, like, going to be, okay, one movie, however many songs. No, this is part 1 of the movie. Because I thought it was going to be like a musical that you've turned into a movie, so therefore it's not going to be as many songs, but I was wrong. And... Okay. Yeah, but if you've been living under a rock, I can tell you who the cast is, because if you don't know, that means you've been living under a rock. You got Cynthia Erivo, you have Ariana Grande, you have Jeff Goldblum, who plays the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Jeff Goldblum.
You have Michelle Yeoh, which I did not even know that she was in this, and she is Madame Marble, which she's like...
She's the lady that's at the school.
Yes.
Okay. Yep, I remember that.
Yes, you have what's the Bridgerton guy? Jonathan Bailey as Fiyero. Is that his name? Fiyero. You seen Wicked? I
haven't, but I don't remember. That's the love interest. The love interest that Ariana Grande is actually dating currently. Correct?
Oh, don't start me on. No, she's married.
Huh?
She's married to Ethan Slater, who plays Boke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that dude then.
That guy right there is her husband.
Guys. Right. Yeah. I forgot that they got married. I was thinking they were
and it was like people have been talking about it, because like if you see a picture of her, then you see a picture. If you see a picture of him and you see a picture of Ariana Grande's brother, then you're like, they look like the same person.
No,
Google it.
Frankie and him do not look alike.
Google it.
I've seen Frankie.
Okay.
I'm just saying. To me, no.
Maybe it's the new hairstyles.
However, people also said how, like, there's this whole drama about her and him getting together while his wife was pregnant, and then he left her with the baby.
I've never seen this man a day in my life.
He left her with the baby. He's a theater guy. So
that would be why.
been in the theater. Yes,
He's
in the theater.
I'm not a theater person.
You would not know him.
Yeah.
So supposedly he left his wife to be with Ariana while she was pregnant, or maybe right after she had the baby, like months after she.
Well,
had
that would have
baby.
been the same thing with Cynthia and with Lena Waithe.
What about him?
Because they're dating, but she left.
Who?
Yeah, but then she left. Lena left her girlfriend like high and dry and just showed up on the red carpet with Cynthia.
What?
Yeah, so it's drama all around the set. That's why the two girls are such good friends, I'm thinking.
Because they're like, girl, we done been through it making this movie.
Yeah, because we done went and stole some people's
spouses and love interests and well.
Yes.
Harlots?
So yeah, the harlots. Yes. But so like I said, it is the prequel. Is it the prequel the inside of how is I feel like it's before the Wizard of Oz, parts of the Wizard of Oz, and then after the Wizard of Oz. Is that the whole movie? The whole musical?
The musical, I think, is pre-Wizard of Oz. Yeah, because it's all about before Dorothy lands in Oz.
Okay, so then we don't go into after Dorothy lands in
I don't
Oz.
believe that the play went into after. Okay. I don't know what the movie will do.
The movie is going to do exactly what the play did because the movie had 17,000 songs.
Because Glinda wasn't old enough. She was still in school and all that, so she wasn't old enough to be the Glinda that you saw coming down in the bubble in The Wizard of Oz in the play.
She was a princess, bro. She came down in a bubble. Sorry.
All right.
Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. It is good. It's a lot of music. So if you don't like music, if you don't like musicals like that, it's not for you. Granted, some of these musicals actually sounded like songs. Like the musical sounds like a song.
Okay.
So I'm with that. I was like, okay, I could deal with this song. All right, that sounds like an actual song. Mm-hmm. But when but then when you have a regular song, when you have regular words and then you're just putting music behind it, like I hate when I'm watching a musical and I can't tell if you're just if you're just saying your lyrics, your part, or if you're singing the lyrics, because it all sounds the same until the music kicks in.
Okay.
I don't like that. I do not like it. But so that's just what I had to talk about with that. But I do have some information about Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Oh.
For some reason, Anthem Insurance will cap anesthesia coverage on certain time limits for CT patients. Okay. Like, I guess it's critical patients.
CT? I guess. I was thinking like a CT scan, but CT patients, I don't know. Okay.
But this is like for real. So there is a man named Dave Bondi who is talking about it. So I'll give you his information right now.
Okay.
This is real. Take a look at this headline right here. Anthem Healthcare. It's an insurance company. Well, what they're doing now is capping the amount of time you can have for anesthesia during a surgery or a procedure. It's true. It's serious. It's happening. They're a healthcare agency across the United States, Missouri, the Northeast, different areas. So anesthesiologists, doctors, not happy about this, because what if you are having a surgery, you have anesthesia, and your time's up? Are they just going to stop the anesthesia? Well, they're probably going to charge you when your time limit's up. A lot of people are seeing this story, and they are just flabbergasted that this is really happening, but it is.
So this is the thing. So it's like, sounds like Anthem is like, look, anesthesia costs way too much. So we got to bring that down. So let's make the people pay for it. You don't have to pay for it as much. So look, we'll just say it's like being a mechanic. Hey, this job right here, it shows that it only takes 4 hours to do it. Now, if you have something going on with your body that makes it harder, that's just going to be on you.
Yeah.
Like, but this is the allotted amount of time that your doctor has to do this.
I wonder if they feel like doctors are overcharging them for like, this really should be 4 hours. Why are you charging me 10?
It doesn't matter anyway.
I know.
Because,
But you don't want somebody waking up in the middle of a surgery without anesthesia.
Absolutely.
So there's that.
There was
too.
a guy who was doing a TikTok and he was making it like a joke. So here's him.
Timothy! Yeah, boss. What on earth is sevoflurane? It's a common medication anesthesiologists use for general anesthesia. Do you have any idea how expensive this is? Yeah, it costs money to keep a patient alive while a surgeon cuts into them. Well, I saw a movie once where a person was given a stick to bite down on while his leg was... Yeah, I'm going to stop you right there. We have to cover general anesthesia. Fine. But I say for how long? What? New rule. If a surgery goes over a designated amount of time, Blue Cross will stop paying for general anesthesia for the rest of the surgery. And who determines how long a surgery should last? I will. You, an insurance executive, will tell an anesthesiologist and surgeon how long a surgery should last. Come on, Jimothy. How hard could it be? Give me a surgery. I'll tell you how long it is. Okay. Kidney transplant. 30 minutes.
Oh, Lord.
30 minutes? Just pop it in. Quadruple cardiac bypass. An hour. Yeah, try 6 hours. Okay, then just do a double bypass and come back later for the rest. You can't honestly expect OR staff to adhere to surgery time based on insurance coverage. We'll make it easy. When a surgery goes over time, the Price is Right loser sound effect will play in the OR. And this all sounds reasonable to you. Jimothy, if you have a better idea how we can make more than $6 billion in profit next year, I'm all ears. Okay, first of all, no company ever needs to make $6 billion.
That's the end.
I'm sorry, Jimothy. That's all the time we have for today.
Oh, my
I
God.
thought that was so funny, but I like how he made that little
what's
joke
his name?
about it. Oh, that is, oh God. That
Who was
is
the guy who created
Dr. His name is
Oh, he is an
Dr.
actual doctor?
Glaucom Flecken.
Glaucom Flecken?
Yeah, I think he made up his own name because
Okay.
it's like glaucoma and I don't know, like he's German, same Flecken
okay.
as well. But he is a blue check, so he is
He's official.
Yeah, he has 2.3 million followers
Okay.
on the Tickety Talk, and yeah, all he does is just act like people. So yeah,
That's funny. Okay.
pretty cool. But yeah, so there's that.
Yeah. So, but if you don't have Blue Cross Blue Shield, you don't have to worry about it. But they may be starting the
They're
wave.
starting, yeah, they're
so that
starting
Aetna will
it.
follow it, and Health Keepers will follow it, and everybody else will follow it.
And then everybody's gonna move to Canada. Okay.
Canada.
It's I don't know. It'd be like cold. It might be kind of cold up there.
Yeah,
So
no, I don't want
maybe
Canada.
Japan.
But, you
How
know,
maybe Japan?
There's a bunch of places that you can move to where
They pay you. They
No,
say, Americans, please come because we know how bad it is for you.
yeah, potentially. But I was going to say where when you get your service done, you're like, oh, that was just $75.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
I have to have a surgery and it's going to cost me like $400.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can pay that out of pocket.
Yeah, as
You know
opposed
what I
to
mean?
like I just went to the hospital the other day to the ER, and they gave me that like almost a box full of
Yeah.
gauze. Now I'm like, how much is
gonna
that
cost
each gauze going to cost me? Because she pulled them out of the box and stuffed them in my bag.
Yeah, you're probably going to pay about $120 for that gauze. So be
Probably a piece.
no, not these. I hope not.
Probably a piece.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so the last thing that I had to talk about was in Berlin, sex workers can have pensions and maternity leave.
Oh,
So let's go ahead and a little talky
I am
about
very proud
that.
to be a Belgian sex worker and that we are so far ahead.
Belgium has become the first country in the world to give labor rights to sex workers.
Our goal is to have basic rights, basic human labor rights.
They will be entitled to health insurance, pensions, sick days, even maternity leave.
If somebody who works at a store can get maternity leave, why not somebody who works as a sex worker? Yeah, when you have been pregnant and you just gave birth, I don't think it's possible to start working as fast.
The new law is a first in this industry. For Mel, the best thing about it is that sex workers, under their contracts, can refuse any client and any sexual act. But not everyone agrees that this law is a good thing. Critics point to the fact that sex work often leads to the exploitation, abuse, and trafficking of millions of women around the world.
This law will lead to more people being trafficked because it opens a new market. And when you open a new market, you create demand.
That
So, yeah, if you're out there and you're, well, what they showed on this, and this is
they
BBC,
didn't really show. It's not
yeah, it's
like
not showing
it's
anything. It's BBC
bedroom.
News, so this is like burlesque.
Yes, burlesque.
That's like
dancers.
burlesque shows and stuff like that, but then also it's OnlyFans and things of that nature as well. So it's like, yeah. So it's like, oh, well, you make money off of sex. Well, I mean, you get benefits too.
Yeah, I mean, I can see both sides of it based on what the other person said as well, because there is definitely a trafficking aspect to some of the things that are being done.
Yeah.
In person and all of that. But, and you also make probably a lot more money than that call center person that's working,
absolutely.
their hours. So I could see where somebody's like, well, I mean, is that really fair when you're making $500 in a 2-hour time span because people are throwing money at you?
Yeah.
And then I have to work a whole week to make $500,
Maybe I should move to Belgium and be a sex worker.
Or OnlyFans. Let's just start with OnlyFans. I mean, for you to start with, not me, because,
me.
No, I'm not, I mean, I don't think my boyfriend would approve, so.
I mean, I don't think my girlfriend would either, but we're paying the bills.
Facts,
Yeah. But like, hey, you can be like, Terry, you want that new Corvette? Then shut your mouth. Yeah.
Let me shut it out, leg real quick.
Yeah, right.
So, shut it up. That's hilarious. But okay, well, there you go. So, I mean, that's great in regards to being forward thinking. Does it also apply to male sex workers?
I'm sure it does.
As long as it's equal
I think it's
opportunity.
just sex workers. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. It's only in America that we have issues with equal opportunity stuff when it comes to like health care and pay and stuff like that. Well, I don't know. Some other countries might have problems with the pay
but,
when it comes to male and female. But I mean, like mainly the U.S. is all very one side and one side.
Yeah. It's like we have Viagra for men because men are in charge of everything, but you don't have a lot of different things for women. They have nothing to take care of cramps. But
no,
have
not at all.
Viagra for men.
But you know what? We're gonna take the blood. Forget your heart and your brain. Just pump it straight to your penis. No problem. It's cool. We got it.
Yeah, so those are the kind of things that if women were in charge, maybe we would have a lot more things that could help support women. Absolutely. And high heel shoes wouldn't hurt as much. And you wouldn't have as many cramps. And maybe we'd have something for menopause. It's a whole bunch of things that if women could,
Well, you know what? I feel like feminine products would be free.
Imagine that.
It's kind of like when I worked at Amazon. Mm-hmm. In the bathroom, all the tampon and pad dispensers were free.
Yeah.
I've never seen that a day in my life.
Companies do that now. A lot of companies do that in their
But
restrooms.
they put it on your stuff, and the next thing you know, you got it on your taxes? Okay.
No. It's
my job
free.
likes to do
It's
that.
free. Actually, at my job, they have it, and it says it's called Unflow. And it's like the Unflow section.
Oh, Unflow. I thought you said Aunt Flo. I was like, oh, that's
Aunt
what I call
Flo.
it. Oh, I thought you said Unflow. Okay,
No,
yeah.
Aunt Flo.
Yes, I
so
love
it's a little Aunt Flo section, and so you have just whatever you need. It's right there. So come on over here and talk to Aunt Flo. She got you. So, and that's it. And then they do it at schools too. So a lot of schools nowadays are doing that for free products for the kids. So yeah. So there you go. Yeah. Go figure. Yeah, we took a left on that one, but it all comes together.
It all comes together.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, what do you have next, sis?
So I have Landman. So Landman. It is on. I think it's on Prime. If I'm not mistaken.
I think it's on.
Or is it something else?
Paramount Plus.
Is it? I found it on Prime.
You
know what? I'm probably
because you
paying
for Paramount Plus under Prime.
Through Prime.
Because it got Billy Bob Thornton in it.
It does have Billy Bob and a cast full of other characters, and so everybody's got a little bit of accent.
Everybody does. Okay, I didn't know for sure.
Yeah, because you're.
I just like saying Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, and you're in Texas, see, so you kind of
because you can't mess with Texas.
Have a little bit of an accent, and so no, let me get out of that. But anyway, I was going to talk the whole time like that. But the cast, as we were just talking about, so you have Billy Bob Thornton as Tommy Norris. You have his son is Jacob Laughlin. He plays Cooper Norris. His daughter is Annesley, I don't know how you say that. Ainsley, maybe that's it. Ainsley. Yeah, I couldn't barely understand it.
A-I-N.
A-Y-N.
A-Y-N, yeah, Ainsley.
Okay, Ainsley, and that's Michelle Randolph. His ex-wife is Allie Larder. Her name is Angela. And then you have where John Hamm is in here. He is Billy Bob Thornton's character, Tommy's boss. And he plays Monty. His wife is Demi Moore. And she plays Cammie Miller. So you have Cammie and Monty Miller and just a host of other characters. So for the most part, the TV show, the series starts off with basically, Billy Bob is basically, what do you want to call it? Kidnapped with a bag over his head and people are shooting. And it starts off with a little bit of a bang. Let's just say he makes it out of that. Right. Then the next thing you know, you're watching this plane land in the middle of this deserted road, little tiny, probably a private plane, and drugs just coming off this plane into this truck. But a big red tractor trailer starts coming down the road out of nowhere. And it was over a hill, and then bam, there's a plane just sitting there. So I don't know why the tractor trailer didn't even try to stop or pause or anything.
I thought the tractor trailer was coming to pick up whatever that...
No, it slams into the plane, blows everything up, and now everybody's drug operation and everything else is all discovered because of the fact that this plane landed in the middle of this road and all this stuff was going on. The truck driver plowed through everybody and body parts are everywhere and people are all crusty and it's a whole production. So based on that, it leads down this path of it's a bunch of different things going on. So you have that storyline. You have Billy Bob's son, who his father is in this oil rig industry, right? Okay. He wants to one day run a oil company. So he's like, I got to start at the bottom. So in order for me to start at the bottom, I want to work on somebody's crew.
So I need to be out in the ocean working on the rigs.
No, he doesn't want to be in the ocean. It's not the ocean. This is
they're in the middle of the Nebraska
stuff.
Or
they're
something like that.
In Texas. So they're doing the land drilling and all of that down there because, of course, a lot of money. So he is a part of this crew.
Black gold, that is.
Yep. And so he ends up being a part of this. And little does he know, even though he is Tommy's son and everybody knows he's Tommy's son and they're like, y'all don't want to mess with Tommy, they still really haze him. So part of the hazing was to have him climb up to the top. These long ridge things, right? That are always out there pumping up all the gas. Well, they had him climb all the way to the top. You got to plug in the such and such. And he's like, I don't see a plug. They're like, you got to go higher. No. I don't see it. He's going higher. The whole time he is like, oh my God, his legs are shaking because he's just going higher and higher, trying to show that I can do this because I know what my goals are to one day run one of these things. And lo and behold, they were like, oh, it must be down here. And he was like, are y'all effing with me? Are y'all really serious? Yeah. So he's trying to come down. He falls from 300 feet in the air or something crazy. It was really high. But they catch him. And then when he gets caught with his cord or whatever. But then he's scared to death. And then they have to kind of go up and get him and help him to come back down and all of that. And, he doesn't really tell his dad. And he's like, no, I'm my own man. I'm going to handle it. I got this. So he's hanging out with that family, getting to know everybody. And he's finding out about this oil industry it's a father, a son, and two sons. Mm-hmm. No. A father, a son, and an uncle or something like that, or a cousin. Anyway, so they're all a part of this same crew and they're all working on everything. And as he's finding out about what he does, it helps us to find out too, because a lot of us don't know anything about the oil business and what it's like and how long the hours are. And they were like, look, it's one of the few jobs out here that people can work at where you can make six figures because it's dangerous. Mm-hmm. So you could have gone to prison and come out and make six figures. Yeah,
maybe I should change my job.
And they were like, you could be someone who may not even be legal. and you can make six figures. So it's all of those things that they were talking about and kind of bringing them in the loop on and teaching them Spanish and all that kind of stuff. Even though some of the stuff they were saying wasn't really what they were saying. They were, again, hazing him. And so there's a whole storyline with the son. There's a storyline with the daughter. So the Ainsley, is that how you said it? Ainsley. So she comes to stay with her dad. Now, Tommy's character, Billy Bob, is Billy Bob. Like, he is like a jerk. He's like, I don't take any mess from anybody. He plays that character really well.
But is it like, is he the jerk like he was on like Bad Santa, and what was the one where he's playing with the baseball with the kids?
Yeah, it's kind of like
Bad
that a
News
little
Bears
bit,
or whatever.
because what is funny about this, and I was talking to somebody about it, is like, you almost feel like when you're watching this, that somebody's real conversation with their kids or their wife is what they took down and decided to put into the show. So to give you an example, he's talking to his daughter. He's talking, and his daughter, they're like, oh, so that's your boyfriend? Yeah, that's my boyfriend. We're really, in love and stuff. And he was like, okay, I'm sure that y'all are being safe, and she's like, yeah. And he was like, okay, I know I shouldn't probably ask this question, but I just want to know, like, how are y'all being safe exactly? And she was like, well, he'll just do this instead of doing that,
wow.
like something like that. And you're just like, and he was like, oh my God. Like, you could tell his daughter is like anything she can do to get a rise out of him and to make him feel as uncomfortable as possible.
I love making people
feel
uncomfortable. It's my favorite pastime. It really is.
And so because she is doing that, you almost feel like this has happened to one of these writers, and he's just putting this in the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then how the divorced parents talk to each other. Like, you can, like, he's saying things and he's like, yeah, and like, but you can tell that it's like, this is how real divorced people probably talk to each other.
Sure,
it's not like the whole, hey, leave me alone, da-da-da. Yeah. It's like, it's a love-hate. It's like,
it's like, I'm flirting with you, but I'm telling you how much of a piece of crap you are too. It's like, hey, remember that time when you didn't pick up your shoes off the middle of the floor and I fell, broke my ankle?
Yeah, because she was like, well, our son, he got hurt on the rig or whatever, maybe I should come home. And she was like, no, you don't have to come. And she was like, no, I'll come. And he was like, because you always liked when I come. And then, and it was like all that stuff. And then it was just all of a sudden, it was like, we hate each other. And then they were like going at each other. And then you're like, but then it was just
the toxic relationship, the love-hate.
It was crazy. So anyway.
It's a thin line between love and hate. Isn't that what Bobby Womack said? Was it Bobby Womack? I don't know.
I can't remember. No, I think it was Al Green. I can't remember.
Between love and hate.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so it goes through quite a few things. Billy Bob's conversations with people are epic and hilarious. Yeah. Like, he does not care. Like, it was some rich guy that they have they're paying him $50 million just to be on his land to pump out the oil, right? $50 million. And so the guy is like, y'all, this is happening, that's happening, and y'all are robbing me blind and blah, 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 blah. He was like, we can just take our $50 million. Like, who do you think you are? Yeah, you own the land, but we own you. So what are you even talking about? Like, what you want to walk away from $50 million?
But then the whole time, they don't have anywhere else to go.
They don't have anything else to do.
They have nowhere else to go because we found the oil on your land.
Right. So he is literally...
We would have already been somewhere else.
He's talking like he's the John Hamm Monty character to people. Like, I'm the billionaire here. Yeah. What is your problem? But he ain't got nothing. He got two roommates. So, it's like he's doing this work. Because at first I was like, oh, he must be rich if he's talking to people like this. And then the more I watched, I was like, no, he got two roommates. I said,
his ex-wife took all the money.
He's just a person of influence. So he's not rich, but he has the influence because he has the billionaire in his pocket. Like the billionaire is backing his words. Yeah, so he can have those words.
You don't have that money, bro.
He doesn't, but he can force people's hands because of the fact that the billionaire, he's representing the billionaire.
Because the billionaires, I don't care what you say.
Yeah, the billionaire's on the golf course.
Yeah, I don't care what you say, what you do.
The billionaire's out with Demi Moore, like at the swimming pool. Yeah. But Billy Bob is representing him so he can talk like a billionaire even though he doesn't have the money. So anyway, but it has been pretty good. I am probably 3 episodes into Landman, and I didn't think it would be something that I would watch, but I'm enjoying it. So there you go.
Very good.
All right, what you got? Sis, last.
Let me see. It's the last 6 minutes. You think I could do it real quick?
6 minutes, Dougie, for sure on.
I won't be able to do this one that fast, but I'm gonna go to something else. Did we talk about Perfect Couple? Mm-mm. All right, so just talking about the Perfect Couple really quick.
I don't remember the Perfect Couple. Oh, that was
The Perfect Couple was on.
Kidman.
Yes, was on Netflix. So, Mom actually told me about the Perfect Couple.
Okay.
All right, so you have Nicole Kidman. You have Levi
Schreiber.
What is it?
Is it Schreiber?
Yes, Schreiber.
Something like that.
Yes, they're husband and wife. They have some kids. You have Benji, you have Thomas, and you have Will. Now, they also have like an adopted son who is Shooter Duvall, who is actually a kid who has a bunch of money. Like, they all have money.
Okay.
He's a kid who has a bunch of money, but he doesn't act like it because he's like, I don't care about money. It's like, yeah, people who with money don't care about money. Mm-hmm. When you don't have money, that's what you care about.
Right.
So, basically, it is let me see, Amelia Sachs plays Eve, who is going to marry Benji, the son of Greer and Tag. Okay. Now, as she's there for the whole party. I think they're in like the Hamptons or something. No, it's not the Hamptons. It's Nantucket.
Yeah.
They're in Nantucket.
Okay.
But so they're there. Her best friend comes. Mm-hmm. And as it goes through, the best friend ends up dying. Mm. And everything happens within a few days, right? But the best friend ends up dying right the day before the wedding. The bride finds her floating in the ocean or the lake or whatever this is in Nantucket. Mm. And now it's like they're trying to figure out what happened, how did it happen, why is the girl gone, who was the last ones that saw her, and then trying to figure out, because the couple, they are actually like, they have FU money. Like, I'll do what I want because I have money. Like, it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. I have money, so I can just pay somebody off, and then there's no problem. So she's making the future daughter-in-law, sign an NDA. Mm. Then it's like, oh, the caterers are here with with all of the oysters for the wedding. It's like, oh yeah, we didn't cancel the caterers this morning, blah, blah, blah. So now it's like the cake's here, the caterer's here. It's like everything's there. And the mother's just like, okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and go with the wedding. She was like, wait, what? The daughter's like, wait, what? Or the daughter-in-law. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I mean, we have all these people coming from out of town. We have all this stuff going on. It's too much for us to just cancel it. And like the daughter-in-law, the future daughter-in-law, is sitting there thinking like, I literally just lost my maid of honor.
Right.
She died. She was upside down. I could see her from my bedroom window outside. Mm. And now you want me to get married on this same beach where we found her body.
Wow, that's traumatic.
So it's so much trauma when it comes to that, but then it's little bits and pieces that you get. So as you're going through the episodes, you'll get a bit and piece of a chunk of something that happens later on. But something that has already happened, but they're going to show the full story later on. Okay. So that's what you're getting. You think that you know what's happening, then you get another bit and piece. Mm-hmm. Then you're like, oh, no, it was this person. And you get another bit and piece. And it was like, oh, no, it was this person. And you get another little bit. And it's like, no, it was this person. Well, hey, she killed herself, blah, blah, blah. You don't know what happens until the very end. Wow. And I still don't think I know properly what happened.
Gosh.
So
it was good, though, it sounds like. It's a series, or is it a movie?
It is a series. I guess it is a mini series. I guess that's what you would talk about.
Episodes?
No. Oh, this is 6 episodes. Okay. It is called The Perfect Couple. It is good. It's a lot of back and forth, going back and forth. But it is still good to where you realize, man, people with money just move differently. Mm. Yeah. And then this also shows you that money won't buy you happiness.
Yeah, that's what they say.
And then it also
shows... I like to try, though.
Oh, well, see if money buys you happiness? Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I like to know.
Just I think
I can judge it for myself.
Yeah. I feel like if I had a bunch of money, I would probably have happiness, and then I'd lose it, and then I'd be like, well, not happy anymore, so money definitely bought me happiness. But yes, it is good. Like I told you, it is called The Perfect Couple. It is on Netflix. Okay. Check it out. Check it out. And Benny King, he and me on a day. He really nice. Okay.
My humps.
It's so funny because I work by one of the guys who rides a motorcycle. Doesn't matter how cold it is outside. He rides a motorcycle. He's constantly working, and then he plays the song. He's like, "Oh yeah, we getting to it now. Woo! All right."
That's the song he
And he's like,
plays?
my hump. Yeah, oh, I love it. I freaking love it. I love it because all the rest of the guys are picking on him, and he's like, I don't care if y'all picking on me. I love this song.
That is
and
hilarious.
he knows all of the words. I freaking love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, right. I know. I love it.
Yep. All right. Well, on that note, everybody, that is it for this week's episode of Sestra-Tainment. We want to, we hope that everybody's okay in California as well, because they had an earthquake this week, 7.0. And so tsunami warning, but it went away. So just wanted to acknowledge that for this week as well. But anyway, everybody, have a good week. Take care of yourself and each other.
Bye.
Bye.